Hi there, my name's Joel Deacon and I'm the community pastor at Sit on a Hill, Melbourne. And part of my role is leading our small group ministry of what we call gospel communities. What's unique about your small groups compared to your Sunday church gatherings is that they're an opportunity for your people to engage in conversation. There's an opportunity for people to laugh and learn together. And one of the skills of being a small group leader is learning how to stir and how to steer conversation in the right direction. This can be tricky with a physical small group, let alone a digital small group, which most of us are now in today. And so I've got 5 tips for you to help you stir and steer conversation the way you want it to go. The first tip I have for you is lay the ground rules. Lay the ground rules. I think in this time and context, it's really important that you set expectations for the group. In particular for where you're meeting, when you're meeting, how to meet, and in particular, what's your etiquette when it comes to being an online group? Do you want everyone to have their mute button on? Do you want everyone to have their video on? Do you want everyone to have their Bible in front of them? Or do you want to have people to have their questions in front of them? I recommend many of these things, especially with the internet dropping out. But whatever it is, have a Zoom etiquette or online etiquette, lay some expectations, some ground rules. Tip number 2 is encourage playfulness. Encourage playfulness. In a normal physical small group setting, people will walk in, there'll be greetings, there'll be hugs, there will be small talk, you'll eat dinner together or eat Tim Tams. There's warmth, there's energy, there's love in the room. And I encourage you to try and generate the exact type of warmth in your digital small groups as well. I encourage you to encourage playfulness, be it by having, virtual backgrounds, by playing charades or dressing up, whatever it may be. You want people laughing and smiling at the beginning of your small group gatherings so they feel comfortable. And so later on, when you ask deeper questions, they'll be vulnerable. Do your best to encourage playfulness. Tip number 3 is don't be afraid to ask direct questions. In a normal physical small group world, most of the time you'll ask the group, what do they think? Or you'd ask a question towards the group. And you can still do that in the digital small group world, but I think there's more of a place now for you also just to ask people directly what they think. Do so with open-ended questions, not closed-ended questions. That makes people feel a bit more comfortable and they're more willing to answer. But don't be afraid to say, hey Bob, what do you think about this? Or hey Alice, what do you think about this question? Tip number 4 is also split into smaller groups. Split into smaller groups, not just when you're praying, but also when you're going through the Bible and studying and asking questions. You see, you're probably already aware of group dynamics in your group, and you're probably also already aware that it changes even more so now that you're in the digital space, not the physical space. Personally, what I've found when there's more than 5 screens in a meeting, people tend to sit back a little bit and put on their mute buttons and not necessarily engage so quickly. And so just be aware that the bigger your group gets, your conversation is probably going to decrease in its vulnerability and in its depth. And so it's a good idea to break into smaller groups so people will be open and vulnerable and dig deeper into God's Word. Fifthly and finally, this is an oldie but a goodie. When anyone asks you a question as the leader, respond with a question. Respond with a question. You see, what is unique about small groups compared to the Sunday gathering is your role as the leader is not to teach people. It's not necessarily to preach at them the truth. No, instead your role is more to be a godly influence. Someone who leads people and helps people discover the answers for themselves as found in the scriptures. And so I encourage you, when people ask you what you think, that you ask them what they think before you share your thoughts. I encourage you as best you can to point people back to the scriptures and to generate discussion. Finally, I want to end by saying that in this time and context, this place, people are looking for community. They're looking for conversations. They're looking for a place to laugh and to learn. A place for them to grow in their affections for Jesus. And that if you follow these 5 tips, your group can become a place like that. A place where people learn about Jesus and grow in their understanding of who He is.